Joining us on the show now is Sabyasachi Ray. He's Executive Director at Gem & Jewelry Export Promotion Council. Mr. Ray, hi, thank you so much for joining us. And let's start with the good news first. And the recently gone IIJS Premiere 2024 was a record success. We've seen very strong numbers. What is it that you have to share with us in sense of numbers on that one?
Manisha, as you have followed the show for the last few years, you have seen the enthusiasm for this show is something which takes it apart from all other events what happens in the sector. So this year also we have seen huge enthusiasm. In fact, the enthusiasm was helped by the recent announcement of our finance minister in the union budget, where the import duty on gold was decreased to 6%, and that was a huge enthusiasm, because what we understand at consumer level there was a good demand, and based on that in the B2B level also there was good demand. But before this announcement also, we have seen the enthusiasm for IIJS for participants. This year we have more than 2,100 participants, and it was spaced down in 3,600 booths. In fact, the requirement was 5,000 booths, but it went up or we could not give the space after taking both the venues for NESCO and Jio. I think that we are maybe the only show now in Bombay which happens in both the venues. The total area coverage is more than 1 million square feet, which is one of the largest maybe in India also. And we are now the second largest B2B show in the world. And if it continues like this, we are very hopeful by the next 1 or 2 years will be the largest. Like every sector in India, we are growing at a very robust pace. And this year we have seen around 50,000 visitors who has come from more than 800 cities. And also we have seen visitors who have come from more than 60 countries, 67 countries to be precise, and 800 cities in India who has come to visit this show and do their business into this show. So overall also we have seen a large number of MSMEs also. The number of MSMEs has gone up by more than 20%. So that in itself also has helped the show to grow to this amount. But also the environment of the show in terms of logistics, in terms of the venue movement between the shows, everything has shown a huge amount of growth. So that way we are hopeful, because
and this is ahead of the festival season, so it absolutely does mark a very strong one, especially for the domestic markets. But let's talk about the international markets now, and those numbers have not been very supportive. For the month of July as well, the latest data that has come in from you shows that all jewelry categories, almost all, have seen a decline. Even cut and polished diamond numbers have been on the weaker side. What is it that continues to bother the industry, as we can see via the numbers, and when do you see some improvement coming in for these?
Manisha, one of the things, as you know, that what we are facing right now is in diamonds, which contributes more than 50% of the total portfolio of Indian exports, is facing some rough weather. As we have already told, that the main thing what we are facing is the Chinese demand. What we understand is that the demand of diamonds in China, which contributes to around some 25% of the total world demand of diamond jewelry, is not coming back the way we had wanted. And also what has happened, in the US, of course, what we have understood based on what they faced initially in terms of, their some sort of slowdown and etc. what they initially faced, because of that a lot of inventory has piled up in US. I think this will take a bit of a time to move out. And what we can see is that at least this year, till March, we'll face this type of headwinds. And the main problem what in diamond is happening is the slowdown in demand into the consumer market. And that slowdown in demand, as a council and as all the other components in the world, the miners and all the people, also the retailers, all of us, what we are trying is to, see that the demand gets revived. But this is for every other commodity, how it faces, this cycle. Of course, we have faced this kind of thing in 2008 and etc. And we are very hopeful that by the end of, let's say, this year or maybe by 2025, March, April onwards, we can see an uptick in demand, because we have lined up a lot of activities along with different world bodies, and we are up into it. And in fact, in terms of looking at how the things will be managed to uptick in demand. If you're talking about jewelry, of course, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to, there's a shortage of time, but I do wanted to understand that there also is, because of all of this, we've also seen decline in prices of diamond. Is that yet another thing that is hurting the industry?
See, Manisha, one of the things what we have again analyzed to the analyst, one of the analysts has already given a presentation during our exhibition. We have not seen the decrease in the prices of diamonds. You know, one of the things we need to understand is that the price has its uptick and, you know, but the average prices of diamonds throughout the last few years has not gone down. So this is one of the issues what we are all hearing everywhere, that the diamond. But if you have understood that just after COVID, the prices of diamonds have gone up highly, there may be some price correction from that level. So post-COVID, you have also reported, if you can look into your previous report, the prices have gone up by more than 20-30%. There is maybe some correction, but average over the years, the price of diamonds has not gone down. That is one big notion, because in the short term, what do you understand, everywhere it gets reported and it gets, of course, a lot of traction.
It does. Mr. Ray, thank you so much for joining us and answering all of those questions there. So, of course, going forward with the festival season here and the season in the international markets as well, the numbers are anticipated to be on the stronger side. But with that, that's all the time that we have on the show. Thank you for watching. Business Lunch will take all the action ahead.